their boys or their male are nowhere to be found and into the drug business also. Yun ang pinakamasakit. Masakit sa akin na ang Pilipina pumunta doon para magtrabaho because sexual abuse in some tribes in the Middle East have this notion that if you are enslaved by them, and we have been just because of the money that they get, look the other way around, but still being, bothered every night, and what will happen to the next succeeding group of. That is why I have in this speech, I talk about slavery. Pero yan, magprangka ako, I have never denied, and the ICC can record it. Those who destroy my country, I will kill you. And those who destroy the young people of our country, I will kill you. Talagang nangyariin ito because I love my country. We all can do it the legal way, but it will take you months and years. And you know what? The statistics I just learned the other night, that plenty of those who are in the middle class have been released from prison despite the fact that they are charged of trafficking, which is non-bailable, and most of them are out. Babae pati lalaki ang kaso. And that is why I said, I toyed with the idea. I said, if there is still space, with due respect to the Senate President, he is a good man. He can become a good Vice President. He is holy. Ngayon, hindi na siya nahuli. Noon, huling-huli siya. But with due respect to Senator Soto, who's also running for the Vice Presidency, he is a capable man, a good man, and a Filipino. Sige ako tingin sa harap na dito para sa likod ko. You know, you are old. I've been in politics, mayor for 23 years. 5 years as a congressman dito. I work here. And 4 years working as vice mayor for my daughter, Sarah. And the presidency. I have been in politics almost 23 plus 4 plus 4. Almost 40. Kaya hindi ko na malaman ang seat arrangement dito. Hindi ko alam noon pa ang mga Senate President pati. Butit na lang hindi ko sinali si Velasco. Baka hindi na ako makabalik doon na yan. Ibalik, diretso na ako uwi. I have said many times before, the bloodshed caused by the separatist movement in Mindanao is all about correcting the historical injustice suffered by the Moro people. Since the period of colonialization, with the help of Congress, we were able to pass the organic law for the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. Finally fulfilling a promise that was decades in the making. Our victory in Marawi is also a testament to how the Filipinos' patriotism is far stronger than any extremist group. As I have said before many times, there is no room for lawlessness in this country. Rebuilding a better Marawi remains today still not completed. To Task Force Bangon Marawi, we need to race against time, and you have to finish the necessary work for to rehabilitate the war-torn city and bring back its families back home. But let me talk again about the drugs. I was just ahead because I was talking something else. Nag-segue ako. While we have made great strides in ending rebellion and insurgency in various parts of the country, we still have a long way in our fight against the proliferation of drugs. This problem has hounded our country for several decades, destroying families and degrading the moral fiber of our society. We assume forces are committed to end this problem at the soonest possible time. We launched an unprecedented war against illegal drugs and to destroy their apparatus. That permitted every level and sector of society. We wage war on the manufacturers, the financiers, the suppliers, the peddlers, and the entire syndicates, and more importantly, their protectors in government. We have rescued and reformed drug dependence because of their idiotic sense of decency. While interventions and building facilities not only for the rehabilitation, but also to prepare them to reintegrate into society. Our unyielding campaign led to the surrender of millions of drug dependents and neutralization, capture, and prosecution of thousands of drug personalities. The dismantling of illegal drugs and syndicates and the drug laboratories, the extensive drug communities down to the barangay level, and the cutting of narco politics. You know, allow me a little bit of your time. Wala naman siguro kayo unless na you want to, unless you have this appointment with, I'm sure hindi babae yan. That would be a sexist statement. Kung nagmamadali talaga, halos tumatakbo, babae yan. Kung naglalakad lang na natural, medyo less important yan. Ganon yan. Pero dito wala. I'm not making any sexist. I'm just saying the truth. What is the truth? It's there for all to see. Let me talk about our request for infrastructure development. 5 years ago, the first thing I made sure was to increase our infrastructure spending to an average of 5% of the country's GDP. This is significantly higher than the infrastructure spending of each and past 4 administrations. Thanks to the comprehensive tax reform program that enabled us to fund critical infrastructure projects, today we can see the tangible results all around. MRT-3, with its frequent breakdowns and unloading of passengers mid-rail, was a horror. That was for the daily commuters to endure in the past. Now, MRT3 no longer unloads passengers back to their destinations. The waiting time between trains had been significantly reduced to 10 trains running at only 30 kilometers per hour before. Now MRT runs 23 trains at 60 kilometers per hour. We have taken away the misery of public commuting. We also pursue the completion of the LRT to East Extension project by extending Line 2 and adding 2 more stations. We have reduced travel time between Manila and Antipolo from the usual 2 to 3 hours to only just 40 minutes. Thanks to our partnership with the private sector, we are able to open Stage 3 of the Metro Manila Skyway in January this year. This decongested EDSA and other major roads in Metro Manila. On Independence Day last month, we also inaugurated the Kalayaan Bridge, part of the BGC Ortigas Center Link project, which will reduce the usual 1-hour travel time between the two business districts in just 12 minutes. Beyond Metro Manila, we are pursuing several high-impact projects that will be completed within my term and perhaps in the following years. It's a question of money. Just this July, we inspected the newly built passenger terminal building of the Clark International Airport. The new and modern passenger terminal is equipped with the latest state-of-art technology. This can accommodate 8 million passengers, alleviate air traffic congestion at the Naya Airport, as well as serve a major growth driver and gateway to northern and central Luzon. Madali man magpakpak, ang basa ang mahirap. To help promote equitable development, we also completed several roads leading to important trade corridors. Last year, we completed the construction of the Poro Point Free Port Zone Road in La Union, which improved nakita na ninyo yan? Wala, sige lang pakpak. You don't even have a picture of what I'm talking about, I'm sure. To improve access to prime spots for investment tourism in the Poro Point area. We also completed the junction Lanao, Pagadian, Zamboanga City Road, which will provide easier access to farms and easily transport their agricultural products at low cost and in great quantities to industries and economic zones located in Diplahan, Zamboanga, Sibugay. The Sorsogon City in Bicol, inuna namin yan kasi mahal ko ang mga Bicolano. bitawan ninyo yung pakpak ninyo ha. Baka the Sorsogon City Coastal Pass-by Road is targeted completion by while the Davao City Coastal Road will be completed by 2023. Bakit? Why? Why is Davao last? Kasi sinabi ko sa kanila, unahin ninyo yung buong Pilipinas. During the initial years of my presidency, I told the managers and the DPWH, pati si Art Tugade sa transportation, unahin ninyo ang Luzon at ibang areas sa Mindanao. Do not look into the political entrails of the city and other provinces. Sinadya ko talaga na ipangkuli ang Davao. Kaya for the Davaoenos, you must understand that we cannot really unahin natin yung, kasi taga dyan ako eh. Kung hindi ako sigurado taga Davao, tapos na yan, pareho ng iba. Kaya lang sinabi ko, make Davao the last priority. At ito yan. Sorsogon is little politics, but that's the territory of our Vice President, Lene Robredo. Are you here, ma'am? Zoom. Meron ho kayong Sorsogon at iba pa. We have inaugurated new highways and roads as skyways. We have brought both new trains, and these are a testament that we have greatly eased the grueling experience of traveling and commuting. And to sustain our momentum in infrastructure development, I have directed DPWH, DTR, NEDA, Department of Finance, and DBM to be on full speed to ensure that our flagship project will be completed within my term, especially those that could help disperse economic activity outside of the densely populated Metro Manila. I thus earnestly call upon our LGU and private sector partners to help us speed and go for the earliest realization towards our flagship project, infrastructure, and others. Let me dwell about governance. As we improve the connectivity, we work towards greater convenience for our travelers. We have extended the validity of the Philippine passport to 10 years to lessen the burden of our traveling travelers and OFWs. We have also gone beyond merely addressing the 3 million backlog of the driver's license in 2016. We also extended for the new cars the validity of the driver's license to 5 years, and addedly, we shall begin the issuance of these driver's licenses within 10 years, which would be good for 10 years if there is no traffic violation. So, punta ko din sa LTO, maybe you have a good sight. Merong ano yan eh. I think there's an examination there somewhere to test your ability to drive safely. And you go 10 years after, and you think that you still have the good side. and new reflexes are still good. 10 years, maraming banggaan yan. Sigurado ako. After 10 years, after 5, there should be a stricter measure to issue the 10 years validity of a driver's license by imposing stringent requirements to test the essential functions of eyesight and hearing. Yung iba, hindi na nakakarinig ng serbato eh. And so, I have to, 10 years is too long. So I like it. It's good. But we should have assessed it. In 5 years, we should go there for a medical makeover. Tingnan lang kung kaya pa. Not only did we extend the validity of the licenses and passports, we also sought to make long lines a thing of the past. By streamlining government processes, these efforts are embodied in the Ease of Doing Business Act, which Congress passed on 2018. Thank you, Congress. Sa inyo yun. Ako ang nagpirma pala. Ako nag-execute. Pakpak rin kayo. Dapat ganon ang Sona. Sabihin mo lahat. At sabihin mo na not your qualms, but your misgivings somewhere there. Transactions will be further streamlined with the rollout of the Philippine Identification System or the PhilSy to the Philippine Identification System Act, with this. We hope to facilitate the better access, better services and access for all Filipinos even in the far-flung areas. I want to say something about this, but I'm taking too long, I know. We also issued the modification of the salary schedule for civilian government personnel through the salary standardization law 5. A necessary measure for our civil servants to recognize their work and accomplishment, as well as a gesture of gratitude and goodwill. We have this legacy, and we hope to pass on this establishment of Central Business Portal, single site, and for all business-related transactions, such as securing business permits, licenses, and clearances, and loans earlier. It shall be elevated with a global standing in doing business arena and improve our country's competitiveness. Alam mo ito, yung queuing, when I was a mayor, I don't know, but maybe a legislator or a senator or a congressman, well, not really he is higher than the others. But kung dumaan ka as a local government employee worker, just like me, for 23 years, itong queuing, matagal ko na ito. In Davao, ang passport issuances na doon sa likod ng SM. Isang gabi, nagmotor ako, nakita ko yung mga paa sa simento. So I was thinking, anong nangyari dito? So nagbaba ako, sabi ko, bakit dito kayo natutulog? Sabi nila, you know, Mayor, ang
Mega
pagbukas
mega love
niya,
shout out ya
kailangan
Saves.
nakapila
Thank you
kami.
for
Pag hindi,
putusok.
sunod, ibang araw na naman kami. So, I called for the chief of office. When I said, look, I may not be the person above you supervising, but make sure that this thing will not happen tomorrow. As in tomorrow. Tapos tinawagan ko ang itong sabi ko, why don't you give cards? Kung marami sila paglinya, may maglakad na martial o ikaw bukas at 4 p.m. So you have to study the time and motion of people doing work. Sabi ko, ayaw ko dito sa Davao. Because Davao, Mindanao, sa Davao ang ang issuances ng passport. So ngayon, pagka-presidente ko, sabi ko, ayaw ko nang makita yan. Not during my time. Not during my time. Maghanap pa ng ibang panahon. Ayusin ninyo yan. I do not want people queuing under the heat of the sun and rain. Kaya, sabi ko, di magbigay kayo ng card. They should go to one window, magkuha kayo kung kailan sila makabalik. So divide, I should study your time and the motion of, the process of. And dito nangyari na because I insisted. Today there is no more queuing, especially in the National Office, Statistics Office. Nakita ko. Talagang sabi ko na, either you fix the thing or I will resign tomorrow because I could not bear to see those people. Hindi sa panahon ko, kung hindi ko madala, hindi ko man kayo mapatay, hindi ko kayo mabugbog. Ako ang alis sa gobyerno. Sabi ko, ayusin ninyo yan. Hindi ko gustong makita yan. Since 2016, the Office of the President has issued 138 executive orders, 43 administrative orders, 86 memorandum circulars, 52 memorandum orders, and 1,038 proclamations. These issuances have been integral guideposts government administration and development agenda. The Office of the President has demonstrated careful stewardship of the power by initiating reforms. We upgraded and improved the system and process to ensure that it can provide the best service to the institution of the presidency and the offices under it, ultimately to the Filipino people. To further promote transparency and accountability in government, we also issued the order of the Freedom of Information and opens the records of transaction decision issuances of all government agencies. In relation to this, we have also Presidential Anti-Corrupt Commission that is tasked to run after corrupt and erring government officials and bring them to justice. Alam mo, I don't know if you perhaps have come to know about it. I have yung pastilya sa airport. There were 43 personnel involved. I fired them all. Talagang pinaalis ko sa gobyerno. Nagbalot mga ako ng pera sa pastillas. Sabi ko kay magbalot ka, lagyan mo ng pera. Kaya ito ang ipakain ko sa kanila. Tinawag ko, 43 of them from the immigration. Mabutit na lang, nandyan si Justice Secretary Guevara. So that prevented me from doing it because kung hindi siya dumating, and I never expected them to be there, bigyan ko isa't isa yung papel at ipakain ko talaga yung pera sa kanila. Gusto mo ng pera, kainin mo. That is the best way of... Then you fire them. Customs 73 plus 42, and every day you have about... We have dismissed about 200 government personnel. But some I did not allow the publication because may mga pamilya so late yung sabi nila na huwag na lang kasi nasasaktan yung mga so ngayon wala na. I've stopped it but there is no saying that we cannot reimpose it again for all of these idiots. I still have about a year to go. I will reach you somehow. But corruption is endemic in government. You cannot stop corruption. Nobody can stop corruption unless you overturn government completely. If I were the next president, if you think I really need for you to change everybody in the system, then you declare martial law and fire everybody and allow the new generation to come in to work for government. E kung hindi mo ganunin, walang mangyari. Nandyan, it's in the system. Kagaya ng drugs. Sino maniwala na 9 generals sa police were into trafficking of drugs? And because they are policemen, the charges simply just, disappeared. Because the prosecution, the investigation, which form part of the vital documents in court, wala, nobody was investigating because they are also policemen. Kaya yan kahirap ang kaya gusto mo, itong mga to, talagang the only way to do it, just call them and say, look for another job. Don't. Ganun kahirap. Now, let me pursue my talk with the foreign policy of the country. In the international arena, we have vigorously pursued an independent foreign policy centered on the promotion and protection of our core national interests. Yet, sigurado kayo sa pinapakan ninyo? I was just laying the predicate of what I'm going to say. Yet, we continue. I will just give the cue, then you clap your hands. If I yet biro lang yan Yet we continue to work with all nations and seek partnerships that work. Because despite differences, it is an independent world where interests and objectives intersect. Now, partners heretofore silent for equivocal reasons have expressed their principled positions that echo our own, that disputes and contested areas, the majesty of the law must prevail, and this is most welcome. To our friends in ASEAN and around the world, thank you for supporting my government, my country and people, where it truly matters. I assure you that the Philippines will remain a responsible member of the international community. and we will work with you to achieve our shared objectives. But no mistake, make no mistake, rather. Gone are the days when the Philippines decides and acts in the shadows of the great powers. We will assert what is rightfully ours and fight for what is rightfully due to the Filipino people. We do not have any Sona every day. Now is as good as any other time to just let it out from puso mo. This is why we send back container vans of garbage, because our country is not a dump site. And the first country to do that, hindi ko alam kung bakit, Canada. And the container was there for 3 years because hindi alam ng port authorities kung anong gawain nila sa garbage. And I said, isauli mo. Then, tomorrow, those containers must be out of our country. Pag hindi kayo lahat, all of you in custody, I'll fire you. That is a good ground for dismissing people for accepting the garbage. Kaya may isa pa. Pero let you in this story. The Balingiga, we welcome back the bells of Balingiga after many decades because a historic wrong needed to be corrected. The deal was, I would say, I am in bad faith. Sigurado yan, I will admit it, but this is the real story. The Americans, former soldiers, war veterans, went to see me, I think it was in Aguinaldo, and some military men. So, on certain term, they said, you have been invited by Trump to go to America. Have you decided to go there? I said, no. Why? Because I do not like the way that you are treating my country. Why? I said, for one, and there was the clamor now of Balingiga. You return the bells of Balingiga. So that's a war really sacred also to the soldier. Then it is more sacred to us. In addition to the religion, the Roman Filipino the church. Sabi nila, why want to make a deal? Si Hogan, he is around. He's a CIA agent. Sabi niya, isa uli namin, pupunta ka, because I said earlier in my presidency, there will never be a time that I will go to America. Itong mga media mahilag mag-udyok gano'n, bakit ka hindi punta o arte mo lang yan. Sabi ko, then you watch me. Hindi gusto ninyong malaman. Sabi ko sa Amerika, yes, I might consider going to America. So well then, o sabi ko, work on it. I know in just 2 months' time, they told me that the ship carrying the Balingiga bells are on their way. For delivery to Quezon. You remove it, you put it back there, kayo mismo. So tulong-tulong sila doon, nabalik na. Ernest Ogan said, so when are you going to go to America? So I do not have the time. But I will go there. Nung malapit na, hindi na talaga ako pumunta sa, well, how about your promise? I lost time to do it. I cannot do it now. Pero talaga, in my mind, and the Americans might know it, there was never in my mind a trip to America. Ngayong Balingiga, sabi ko, you massacred one barangay, baryo noon. Women and children and all. Pinatay nila lahat. Because that bell, Balingiga was used to call the people for prayers gano'n. Sa simbahan yun eh. So yung ginawa nila, every time it is used, the Americans knew that it has a great significance to the Filipinos, the Balingiga. After the massacre of one barangay, how many at the time we would never know. But it was said, isang baryo. No barangay ngayon, baryo naman yan eh. Barrio is an American word. The barrio. They also call the small places in Mexico barrio. Right? The Americans borrowed it from the Spaniards, barrio. So sabi ko, blood, you really got it at the expense of the blood of Filipinos. I do not hurry me up. If I go to America, it will be in my own time. Pero actually, wala ako. I have not been to America for almost 10 years, 22 years. I have not visited America, and I do not have the intention of visiting it anymore. We called on the world to dismantle the heinous kafala system. Ito rin isa. Because the Filipino is no slave unto anyone, anywhere. And there is no room for modern day slavery. We helped start a new global civil rights movement for the migrant worker. And we asserted the arbitration ruling on the South China Sea clearly and in no uncertain terms, bilaterally, and the ASEAN, and finally at the United Nations General Assembly. And let me talk about that. I said in the September of last year, the arbitral award is now part of the international law and beyond compromise and beyond the reach of oppressive governments to dilute, to diminish, or abandon. That is the problem. I would like to just to everybody in the Middle East. I would like to tell them that not only Filipinos but all human beings, the kafala has no place there because it's a setup for slavery. Either you correct it or we will ask our workers, Filipino workers, to go home. Sabi ko, bahala na. Kung mahirap lang kami dito, okay lang. We will try our very best to make up for what they have lost, what they will lose in the process. But we will never allow them to be slaves. But we need to do more with our partners. We continue scaling our maritime domain awareness, defense capabilities. Yet, we will not close our doors on diplomacy and never by force. Let me ano mo, I respect the opinion. You should be aware by now of how I talk, especially on matters of crucial matters that involves the country. Ito bang arbitral ruling? I've said it I think in the later part of the speech. I said that what's your problem in the arbitral ruling? America and some Filipinos, brilliant Filipinos, I would say, keep on pushing for something which I really do not know. I have made a speech before the UN. Nakasumplo rin, nandito lang ako. Hindi ako pumunta doon. But in that speech, I laid down the bare, sabi ko, ng ating administrasyon. Ano pa ang gusto ninyo? What will I do with a document that is not buying China because they were never a part of that. There was really no arbitration at all because it was only the Philippine side was heard. Well and good. But ito ngayon, that there is the arbitral ruling, you know, I do not want to insult these people pushing me for something more than what I can handle. At anong gusto nila makipagira? Do something. What they do something? Do you want war against China? Well, I'll tell you, even on the coast beach of Palawan, before you can take off, the missile of China would be there in about 5 or 10 minutes. It would be a massacre if I go and fight a war now. We are not yet a competent and able enemy of the other side. So what I did was I was just being nice to them. But for some people to say that I was helped by China in being president, these idiots, really. I will never do that. Hindi na bali ako hindi ma-presidente, hindi talaga gagawin na. To be, what? Receiving money from China to buy votes? They said that they help. Maybe in some Chinese communities, the gossip going around was that support. But the whole of the Chinese community in the Philippines went for me. Why? Kasi sa Davao nung mayor ako, ni minsan hindi ako tumatanggap maski Christmas gift.
Isirado lang punta niya.
Tapos dito marami sa dito ako ngayon. Marami nagpapadala ng baril, kung ano dyan. Sabi ko sa uli mo yan. Yung mga relo. Ito nga, aking relo. It's IWC. This is only 300,000. But the patik that has come with me, sinauli ko talaga, return it. O pag hindi itapon mo sa Pasig sa harapan nila.
Diha na po na butang. Kibo na
Hindi.
buang.
Hindi ako tinulungan ng China. Nag-usap kami ng China civilly, but after election.
Bahak mo po.
And after election, I was a good friend of presidency. Until now,
Pangit-kit dere.
when the pandemic struck, the first country I called for help
Kuling mo na
was
na
China.
buwan.
President Xi, sabi ko, President, we have no vaccination program here because we do not have the vaccines. We have not been able to invent one. We might have a hard time. So no, it's okay, we'll send you. And he sent us, donated about 1,500,000 of vaccines. Gano'n, kaya sabi ko, ako, lalo na kami mga Bisaya, mabigat sa amin yan, for us Bisayans, yung utang na loob, mabigat talaga yan. Hindi mo mabayaran ng ano, pero pag may utang na loob ako sa iyo, you can be sure that I will be your friend, a true friend, and die for you. Pero itong China magdayo, bakit ako mamatay dyan ng sundalo ko, ubusin ko? How can we fight China? Do we have the weapons? Do we have the everything? Now comes America. They say that if the attack is against the Philippines, they will defend. But they issued a statement that America does not meddle in conflicts involving the boundaries of other nations. And if America has to go to war, you have to go to Congress to get, American Congress to get authority to go to war. That is why many presidents, hindi lang, it was just not an error, a mistake, a malicious mistake. No president has ever been punished for attacking nations, getting into a fight with nothing. And if they come here, well,
Kani di ayo si Peke
ang
ni.
problema kasi nandito na yung balingiga. Sa uli na lang natin, uli. May ba just return na bag ito eh. So big day ko lang, bells, ring it until you die. Fulfilling my promise to our coconut farmers and the Filipino people, my administration has worked with Congress to pass the Coconut Farmers and Industry Trust Fund Act. We have returned also the cocoa levy funds to its true and rightful owners, our coconut farmers. The fund is now worth estimated to be 75 billion, which will be utilized according to the plans and programs in the Coconut Farmers and Industry Development Plan for the direct benefit of the coconut farmers and the development of the coconut industry. In our effort to ensure that food is within reach to every Filipino family, we work for the passage of rice tarification law in 2019, pushbacks. This resulted in the stabilization of rice supply and food prices and the proceeds from the tariffs that enabled us to provide our farmers with modern machineries that increase the yield and sustaining growth of agricultural production. We also fulfilled our promise to improve free irrigation. That was the first promise I made some in San Miguel, Bulacan when I was campaigning. The farmers invited me to go into the farms inside San Miguel, Bulacan. And we had a sort of
Sana si Tanggag, be! Sige ko ang sampo ka, oy!
a meeting, and the first thing that they were complaining about was the severity of the irrigation that they have to pay 5,000 every month, every year. So sabi ko, I will work on it. Free irrigation service for 2018 is a product that now lowers the cost of agricultural production, especially for poor farmers. We also want to ensure that households have adequate supply of clean water, potable and affordable water. It's more than a commodity. It is vital. It is a vital public good. This is why I used my political capital to fight vested interest behind disadvantageous water service contracts that burden consumers with unjustified water prices increases with the signing of this concession water agreements. Concessioners consumers will be protected at least until 2037. Ganito yan eh. There is this concessionaire, dalawa. Ayoko na lang mag-ano. I will not mention names. Pero this is really what happened. Ang dalawang concessionaires, one in the south, and the other is north. As the rich cartel dito sa Southeast Asia, ang pinakapture nila ang electricity pati tubig. Dito sa tubig, in this contract with water concessionaires, we made so many concessions that really, sabi ko, if you look at the contract and look at the anti-graft law, talagang it's all anti-graft. All of the sentences, even the period and question mark there. Bakit? Sila walang problema sa tax because the people, consumers, will pay the taxes for them. Sila kung malugi, sabi na, hindi nila kasalanan, and we can think of it, through not their own fault, sabi doon, bayaran natin sila malugi. We pay for the tax corporation nila. At sila ang mag-decide kung i-increase nila o i-decrease nila ang water prices. The regulators, itong mga regulators sa Pilipinas, walang magawa and they acceded to the contract. It was really, I don't know how to work. Kaya ako pardon nila. Di ba nagmura ako? Sabi ko, biro mo kung malugi sila, babayaran pa natin. Tayo ang corporate tax nila. Tayo ang magbayad. And it's a cartel that service concessionaires are part of the cartel of Malaysia and Indonesia and they form part of that mother corporation. Itong mga sa pati Malaysia, Indonesia, they are just kumbaga sa story, chapter lang yan sila. Being controlled up by the kaya sabi ko, wala ito. I told them, I told doing this one. Tell them that I am no longer honoring the contract. Meron pa doon, payment of itong tax, water treatment plant to be constructed in the Harrison Plaza site. Yun ang pinirmahan natin. So 1997 up to the present, or up to the month that I blew my top, nagbabayad, ewan ko kung ano nagbabayad, there's a sa water bills ninyo for enhancement of quality of water. Ang ibig sabihin, water treatment. And they were collecting since 1997. So until now, how much of the Filipinos' money are with them for nothing, not even for a song? Kaya ako, if there is something, hindi naman proud, but if there is something someday that my children will say, what have you done for my country? Sabihin ko, sila. Talagang inupakan ko sila. Sabi ko, ayaw ninyo. You do not want it? Well, okay. I will just confiscate your system and call the military to operate it. I will exercise the eminent domain and expropriate all of your assets here. Kasi, gagawin ko. Yun ang nangyari ka. So, na sinabi ko sa
Bayran lagi.
military. In man of
Okay,
the
I have to
immediately
end my
after
live
that,
mga kaibigan. Salamat sa nagtamsak, nagvisit at nagsuporta sa aking
if I
live.
do not make it
I will end now because I'm going to go to my work duty. Salamat kayo sa mga ka-bless team.
kindly,
Ako po si Densyo. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my vlog. And please subscribe my channel, Densyo. Thank you so much!
I have not yet, I have to thoroughly digest
Yun
it
na
inside.
napag-uwan tayo no. Yan doon na.
I have to absorb it, every word of it.